Shade753 here to bring you finally another Fanboys Exposed video. Now, I know I promised high quality videos and still haven't got my sound to work. I don't know what's wrong. But then I realized that was some old, outdated editing stuff. What was that, like Windows Movie Maker, the original? Yeah, I can't work with that. Not in 2015. No. So, gonna stick with this for now on until I can get some new ones. Yeah, I forgot. This guy, this is a re-exposing of the same guy I did before. This guy is like Sergeant Adam Ford. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I've done it before. This is gonna be the part 2. So let's see what this guy's got. Yes, I may be a hypocrite, but that's no reason to dismiss my argument. Now, I'll admit one thing. This guy said hominin, and I didn't know what that word meant at first, so you got me on that. I didn't know what hominin means, but when you think about it here, he's basically saying that labeling him as a hypocrite does not automatically dismiss his argument, and he's basically saying that a hominin is a personal attack without acknowledging the argument. But here's the thing: I called him a hypocrite because of his argument that was hypocritical. Your argument was hypocritical. Now, calling you yourself a hypocrite, that may have been out of line, but that doesn't change the fact that your argument itself is hypocritical. So being a hypocrite or having a hypocritical argument is a reason to dismiss your argument. Because if it's contradictory, you start to wonder, hey, that thing doesn't add up. That those two things, they don't go together. They don't go together. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. What you're saying doesn't make sense, man. And now he's saying, now he's doubting the expert team of scientists that were in the video. The expert team of scientists said they didn't realize the multimeter wouldn't work because it was high voltage electricity. Now, over here I said something about high voltage electricity that wasn't true because, yeah, and you know what? You got me on that. I do not know anything about voltage electricity. But here's the thing. If you're going to claim that John Chang was using high voltage electricity, can you prove that? Can you prove that he was using high voltage electricity? And even then, even if he was, how would that be the scientist's fault? How would they have known that the meter wouldn't work? People don't just instantly know things. That's the whole point of testing, to find things out. And how do you know he was using high voltage electricity? Prove it. Also, I was wrong about that thing. And you're the real fraud here. You make claims after claim, but you can't back up anything. Yeah, he's claiming that John Chang's a fraud. Now, guys, whether you believe that John Chang is the real deal or not, that's up to you. I mean, I'm a very religious person, so that's what leads me to believe this, you guys, you don't have to agree with what I'm saying. Just listen to my argument against him. Listen to what I'm saying against him. That's all I want you people to do. And here say, stop promoting all these Facebook healers, all these healers, because they're all frauds. I'm not promoting healers. In fact, even if there really are people with magical powers, I'd still prefer a doctor. But I'm just saying, I personally believe that some healers are real because I'm a very religious person. I'm a Christian. Hold on a sec. I read this every day. So I'm a very religious person, and that leads me to believe that some people are naturally blessed. But if you don't agree with that, fine. But what I'm just saying is that if you're going to claim that they're all frauds, and he does that later on, he claims none of them are the real deal, then you're going to have to back that up. You claim that none of the healers are real deals. Okay? I want you to scavenge the world, try to find everybody who claims himself as a healer, and expose each and every single one of them. Because that's a major claim that they're all frauds. Let's see you back that up. And I know what you guys are going to say later on. You guys are going to make the same argument against me. How do you know that John Chang is real deal? Well, that's coming up later on. Just listen. Okay? Anyway. None of them are the real deal. You don't know that. It's unknown. Stop making claims you can't back up. Also, the guy said he used chi, not electricity. But I'll admit that you were right about the high voltage electricity. Yeah. You were right about how high voltage electricity works. I don't know anything about how voltage electricity works, but that doesn't mean you can prove that he was using electricity to do all that stuff. Okay. So I know electricity fuller when I see it. Making another claim. You claim he's using electricity. Let's see proof it. Like, all right, you claim he was using electricity? Prove it. And meet me back in 30. Wow, man. Wow. And right here it says, you mentioned these expert team of scientists. However, you failed to mention a good magician always practices. How do you know he's a magician? Any proof that he's just a magician? No, we just talked about this, man. We just went through this, man. You're just... Look. How do you know he's a healer? He isn't a healer. He hasn't healed anyone. Really? Okay, let's just...
into his patients.
Okay, so right here, you see him healing people.
Sometimes he used the needles. Sometimes
So
just
guys,
his
if you still believe that John Chang is a fraud, all right. But if you're gonna talk to me about it, you're gonna have to make a much better argument than this guy. Because this guy is making just a terrible argument.
For years we followed him around Java on his healing rounds.
Gonna make this full screen.
But he always refused, saying his powers resulted from a type of meditation with an ancient tradition of secrecy. It was only when my brother Lorne was suffering from a serious eye infection that he finally allowed us to film him in 1987.
It was nothing like any acupuncture I'd ever had. I was getting really powerful electric shocks and couldn't control my movements at all.
See? So there you go. He has healed people. And now he's just saying that I'm a fool just because of my very opinion. Now, look. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier. I don't really know if he's a real healer. That's just my opinion. You keep saying he's a fraud, claiming it as fact with no proof. It's something that cannot be proven or disproven, then it's unknown. So here's what I was going to say, guys. Everybody has their own personal beliefs. And that's all right. But if you're going to claim that your belief is a fact, then you're going to have to back that up with some evidence. Now, guys, I have not claimed anything as fact. I've never claimed that John Chang was a real healer, and I've never claimed it as fact, okay? I've said that is my opinion. That's my opinion. I'm not claiming it as a fact. I'm just saying I personally believe he's a real deal. And guys in the comments, if they're gonna talk about he is a fraud, please, just bring up a better argument than him, because he is making a terrible argument. And look, because I know what he is doing. Firstly, healers don't exist. No, okay. So the reason you're claiming he's a fraud, and you're doing it off of what evidence? None. You're just making claims. You're just making claim. You're making more claims with no proof. Okay? Which don't exist. Now, about the thing about ghosts, I don't believe in ghosts either, because it's not what it says in the Bible. Again, you guys don't agree with me, fine. Just make a better argument than this guy. Please, now, anybody's gonna hate on me for this video, I want you guys to hate on me. I actually want you. But please, bring up something better than this. Because this is terrible. This is just terrible. Nothing he says. No, okay. Hold on a second. Now look what this says. The fact that there is no evidence of people getting magical powers is proof itself that it can't be done. Now, really? Okay. No, it's not. Just because you don't have proof that something exists does not mean you have proof that something does not exist. It's just unknown. You need proof supporting one side or the other. If you're going to say that it doesn't exist, you're going to have proof that he doesn't exist. If you're gonna say that he does exist, you're gonna have to have proof supporting that he does exist. Whether you're supporting or doubting, you need some evidence supporting one side or the other. Otherwise, you've proven nothing. Your argument is based on nothing. Okay. Also, because something's never been done before, that means that it can't be done. You know, guys, I've never gone to Nebraska. I've never been there, but you know what? There's nothing stopping me. That doesn't mean it's not impossible. I could buy a plane ticket. I can fly over to Nebraska. Just because something's never been done before doesn't mean it can't. Okay. There's a reason we shouldn't believe in fairy tales now. Okay. It's called common sense. I haven't seen a unicorn before now, personally. And guys, I don't believe in unicorns either. But that's just my opinion. If some of you out there believe in unicorns, alright, that's your opinion. Now, just because a specific story is labeled as a fairy tale doesn't automatically debunk it. The only way to prove whether something is or isn't real is to have evidence supporting one side or the other. You can't just say, oh, you can't just call BS on it and just say, nope, it's not true. That's like a fairy tale, man. Even if it was a fairy tale, that still doesn't prove that it's not real. I mean, a long time ago, before dinosaur bones were discovered, like back in the early 1800s, people didn't know about dinosaurs. You could probably go back in time, talk to someone, tell them about it, and they'd say, man, giant reptiles, they're not true, man, that's a fairy tale. And then later on, there's proof. Yeah, giant reptiles did exist. So they're not a fairy tale. You know what? Even if they were, it still wouldn't matter. What matters is proof. Regardless of what you title the story, it's not proof. Someone wants to talk to me on a sec. Now I'll just keep going with this. I'll sing this. You can't just make blind assumptions with no evidence leading up to it. You've never seen it, so it can't be real. I've never met anyone named that put thirsty bleh. But that doesn't mean nobody with that name exists. Just because something is labeled as a fairy tale doesn't mean it's automatically not true. That has to be proven. Remember the dinosaur thing I told you earlier? And I don't care how many... I like to repeat myself. I don't know why, but I do like to repeat myself. If you were to go back in time, talk to somebody in the early 1800s, tell them about a long time ago, there used to be these giant reptiles, they'd say, man, that's a fairy tale. That doesn't exist. Later on, turns out there's evidence that fairy tale was real. And still believe in Santa Claus. And no, guys, I don't believe in Santa Claus earlier. I don't believe in Santa Claus. That's just my opinion. Some of you believe in Santa Claus. All right, man. That's all right. Okay. You know what? I'm done with you. You refute my argument, but aren't able to debunk it. Your whole argument is based on arrogance, not logic. You believe he's a fraud, not because you find it illogical, but because you just refuse to open up to the idea of him being the real deal. He doesn't believe that he's a fraud because it doesn't make sense to him. He's saying he's a fraud because he refuses to believe otherwise, out of pure arrogance. Okay, and what you basically said throughout this whole video, throughout this whole debate, is like, no, you're basically saying, no, it can't be true. He has to be a fraud. He has to be. You're just unable to prove it. You're like Luke Skywalker when he found out Darth Vader was his dad, just screaming in denial. Faith, I could understand, but it's not even that. Now, hold on. Alright, guys. I decided to just end it there because that was the last comment. And, guys, I know a lot of people aren't gonna agree with me on this. Yeah, I know a lot of people are gonna call BS on this. Like, man, John Chang is a fraud. You know what? If you believe that, fine. I don't care. Just hold on, Christina. I'm making a video. Just please. If you're gonna say something in the comments. Say something better than this. I actually want you people to hate on me. I want you to hate on me. Just please say something better. Please say something better than this. Because I'm tired of having to deal with these people. I'm so tired of it. Just, hey, I want you to hate on me. Just hate better. Hate better. I want you to hate the best you can possibly hate. Just don't hate like an idiot. Don't hate like an idiot. But Shade753, like and subscribe. I'm done.